Still no Twitter. What the fuck's going on? Bam, we're live. You get the Twitter feed back up. But good thing we're on Twitch. Good to see you guys. Good morning. We'll have Greg Glassman on today. All sorts of crazy shit coming out. So hard to tell what's accurate and what's not. Some of the things that I saw, there's video of some puffs of smoke coming from the stands, showing that there may have been a second shooter. Some people are claiming that the guy walked a mile from Home Depot with the ladder to the venue, the shooter, Mr. Crooks. I couldn't validate any of those. They found his car actually in the parking lot at the rally. So, and then when I looked at the video of the supposedly where the second shooter was, it looked like the bullets were coming from the wrong direction. But there was one bit of information. Oh, did I send Greg a link? Oh, yes, I did. There was one bit of information that came out that was very unsettling. Do you remember during 9/11, someone was buying, shorting the United Airlines stock? Meaning I guess what you can do in the stock market is you can bet that a stock's going to drop. And right before 9/11, there was a massive purchasing of United stock, claiming that it was a bet shorting. I guess they call it shorting. And then the Twin Towers incident happened and the stock plummeted and people made shitloads of money. Trump stock shorted heavily day before assassination attempt. After an assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump, which sent shockwaves through the U.S. political landscape, Trump media, NASDAQ shares surged more than 60% in the early trading hour. Meaning he got shot, he survived, and so the Truth Social stock skyrocketed. However, a fact bound to raise a few questions is the short positions against Truth Social stock doubled between July 1st and July 12th. Meaning someone was suspecting that the stock was going to take a massive plummet. Oh, my mic's not on. Oh, thank you. You know what that is? The power's been going on and off here so much. Thank you. Is that better? Am I back? I'll do that whole bit again. Check 1 2 1 2. Hey, dude.
What's up, buddy?
Oh, you sound great.
Really?
Yeah, great audio today.
Yeah, I always wonder about that each time we start, because with no changes in the setup, it seems to make a difference. Give me a second. I'm gonna do a little dust management here.
Okay, yeah, do it. Hey, you're on a laptop, right?
Yeah, the same. It's like the only thing I use anymore is that Air. What is it? 15-inch, 16?
Yeah. Do somewhere you know what it is the in Santa Cruz, the Studio Pro you have, you know that block you have on your desk?
Yes.
That mic's horrible. So that's the one we always have to worry about. But
okay, well I'll use my Air everywhere because I'd rather.
Yeah, that's good.
I think this thing has tossed out $20,000 worth of computers in different homes. I drag this thing with me everywhere.
Yeah, that's nice. And the camera.
And I got studios at each house, you know.
Did you watch?
I used to think Russ Green was like, I didn't understand. Everything was off the little laptop. He didn't even have a desktop, right? And I had this vision of him at home on a big system. And no, he's just in the corner on the little laptop. I'm becoming that.
There's this guy that I work with named Patrick Rios. He's a video editor and filmmaker, and he does everything off his laptop too. I can't even believe it. Just sitting on a couch on his lap.
It's a trip.
Yeah.
Does film editing on his lap.
Yeah.
Watching the TV or something?
I don't know. I think he's just comfortable there. And in the early years with you, I when I was traveling a lot, I used my laptop a shitload too. Now I can't stand it. I think also once you sit upright in front of a computer too, it's kind of weird going back to a laptop.
It's hard to beat as a compromise the laptop on a stand.
Oh yeah.
With a keyboard and Magic keyboard and Magic trackpad.
Is that what you have? Is your laptop on a stand?
I don't have the trackpad here. Somehow I ended up with repeats of the trackpad and the Magic, whatever, with my gig at somewhere else. And so I've got new ones arriving today. But
Dick
it's
Butter,
nice to get your eyeballs off your, like you're looking in your lap and lift your head and work.
I do all my UX design work on a 13-inch MacBook Air while laying on a couch. Wow. All right.
The secrets of Dick Butter.
I'll never forget when I first started the show and this guy popped up in the chat. My mom's like, I really like that guy's name, Dick Butter. I was like, ooh, I didn't need to hear that. Hey, I got something I want to show you.
Okay.
I saw it first on Instagram, and I did not believe it. And it says disgraced Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle is now saying they didn't put snipers on the roof where the shooter was because it was sloped and not safe. I'm like, well, that's not true. But obviously the counter snipers are on a sloped roof. It doesn't even make sense anyway what she says. And so then I keep looking. Secret Service Director gives bizarre reason why an agent wasn't on the roof where gunman Thomas and Crooks opened fire on Trump as she rejects call to resign. Hey, this is the kind. There's a safety factor that would be considered there that we wouldn't want to put somebody up on that sloped roof. And so the decision was made to secure the building from inside. This is like some crazy. This is like something your kid would say. You're like, hey, why are you eating cookies? And he's like, I didn't want to. They were going to go bad. And you're like, what? I mean, this is just retard talk. So I didn't believe this.
What did you believe?
There's no way she would say that out loud. There's no way you would use that as an excuse. That's just that like no one's gonna believe that. No one in their right mind is gonna believe that.
What she says doesn't matter. The way this kid's motives don't matter.
Go on. I'm all ears.
The fact of the matter is that it's unforgivable that rooftop wasn't covered.
Right.
It's unforgivable. Look, did you see the
why would you make an excuse though?
Spinning in circles, trying to holster the gun in the badge and just put it in the left hand and spin another circle and look around
But why would you make an excuse that's so
it was like an SNL spoof on police.
Why would you make an excuse that's so preposterous that no one could believe it?
Because to the constituency to which she gives a fuck, they're sad he wasn't killed.
I mean, he was on a roof with the same slope that the counter snipers were.
It's got nothing to do with facts. It's got nothing to do with facts. Why was nobody there? Look, do I think there was a conspiracy from Biden's camp to get him killed? And it could be, you could make specific, this person did this, did that. No, not at all. Do I think they would shortchange him in hopes that he would get whacked? Of course they would. Of course they would.
Okay, let me play this for you because
how many other spots do you think weren't protected around him?
I know, you're right.
How many? You think you think it was just that one fucking fault? To be just this one place? No. He's getting the bare bones in the hope he gets whacked.
Okay, here we go. Listen to this. Listen to this.
You said you got to show the chick spinning. You got to show that. He got the ponytail brigade.
Yeah, that's wild.
They gave him the DEI team, and he got shot. She did for elected officials what Boeing's done for air travel.
Right.
With DEI. But this is worse than that. This is worse than that.
Okay, here we go. Let's check this out from last night. Jesse Waters on Fox News.
Trump's security detail was starved of manpower. Agents were reportedly diverted to a hastily arranged small Jill Biden event in Pittsburgh at the same exact time as Trump's rally. And Kamala happened to be in Pennsylvania that day, too. The Secret Service denies resources were diverted, but reports say they were stretched so thin, they only had 2 counter snipers for the rally, 2. And they had to farm out the rest of the protection to local stringers. The Secret Service director, Cheadle, said the assassin's rooftop was a vulnerability, but they decided to place counter snipers inside the building instead. Here's why.
No way. I don't believe it. But then this.
Why?
Should that roof have been secure, period?
That building in particular has a sloped roof at its highest point. And so, there's a safety factor that would be considered there, that we wouldn't want to put somebody up on a sloped roof. And so, the decision was made to secure the building from inside.
We have American snipers shooting from caves, cliffs, mountaintops, but they can't handle a sloped roof.
And look, the slope is even less where the slope is less where the fucking assassin was than where the counter snipers were.
But you know what? I think everybody knows this.
I can't even believe this shit. I can't even fucking believe this shit.
I know people that don't follow any news and they know everything we've talked about so far. Isn't that interesting? Maggie's dad's in a self-imposed information blockade, and he knows all of this through texts.
Well, that's a good implication. Meaning just the whole country knows.
Words out. Words out. And the left is going to disguise their disappointment as a call for civility.
How about this? Do you remember the shorting of stocks on United prior to 9/11?
No.
So basically, right before the before the Twin Towers accident, there was massive purchase betting that the United stock was going to plummet, and people made billions when the flights hit the towers. Now, who those people are that made billions, we still don't know.
Dude, I've been wanting to short United for 30 fucking years. 40 years.
But listen to this. However, a fact found to raise a few questions is that short positions against Truth Social stock doubled between July 1st and July 12th, going from 7 to 15 million shares, and what was a record shares of shorted for Donald J. Trump stock since its trading debut. The surge indicates that individuals or large organizations anticipated a significant drop in the stock's value by July 15th. I found 2 sources for that.
I get no signal there.
None.
No.
Yeah. How come? Why not? Aren't you like, well, wait a second? Why you just think that people are going to be shorting it anyway?
I'd like to see the other traffic and trends, and I'm just, that kind of spurious correlation thing doesn't tell me anything.
You're not like, hey,
the people that have jiggered this system have so much more sophisticated means of stealing that have nothing to do with the stock market.
Right.
I don't want to say anything that doesn't support the Ukrainian effort, but what was the amount of PPI or whatever that was, the handouts that were stolen, given to fraudulent
oh God,
accounts,
it
like
was
150 billion or something crazy,
yeah,
right?
yeah. During COVID.
Yeah. I would assume that with every transaction, whether it's military aid to Ukraine or anything else, that there's people in between skimming. Biden for sure. That's the family business. That's he's
70,000 of the loans are potentially fraudulent, according to NPR.
500,000 tax returns were given to non-existent Social Security numbers. I'm like, no, wait a minute. And this is a couple years ago. I mean, and so it gets flagged as this number doesn't even exist. Well, here's their refund. We'll work on it. It's a beautiful thing, dude.
Good morning, Susie.
I want to say something about the Trump shooting.
Okay.
Assassination attempt. If our favorite burrito stand has a guy that doesn't put enough cheese on the burrito, and you go, he's like fucking Adolf Hitler, this motherfucker. And you say it enough times, and I don't catch on that you're just calling this guy Adolf Hitler because you're not getting the cheese on your burrito, but I actually know something about history. I know who Adolf Hitler was. To the extent that I believe he's like Adolf Hitler, and not that you're just not getting enough cheese, you expect a amount of cheese on your burrito, it would be rational for me to want to shoot the guy. Because if I thought someone was like Adolf Hitler and I had a shot at him, I'd take it. But the deal is that it's much, much, much closer to not getting enough cheese on your burrito than he is Adolf Hitler.
Right.
And so this rhetoric is hugely, hugely fucking dangerous. And I think deliberately so. Deliberately so. I got a book here, Ideas Have Consequences, written by Richard Weaver. I'd recommend it, but it's a hard fucking read. And if we got complaints about some of the other reading, this will be brutal. But two notions I'll leave you with. One is that ideas do have consequences, and they can be immense.
Okay.
Immense. For instance, you can think that there's no difference between men and women, and 2 generations later, you think mommy might have a dick.
Right.
It opens the door to complete fucking insanity. Another notion of Weaver's, and he's a fascinating biography, fascinating upbringing, fascinating professor of English. The edition I have here has a foreword by Roger Kimball, which is always damn near as good as the work itself when Roger weighs in. But ideas have consequences. And comparing him to Hitler over and over and over again, you think this one kid's the problem? No, buddy. There's 100,000 Americans that if they could take a shot at Hitler, they would, and they think it would be the right thing to do because they've been told by the hive in chorus that he's like fucking Hitler. I'll give you another one. End of democracy. RFK nailed it. The threat to democracy is Joe Biden and his fucking censorship. That's the threat to democracy.
Craig Richards, 4 years of he's a Russian spy, 4 years of he's Hitler, and a major threat to America, as are Republicans. But, we don't want political violence.
Right. Craig gets it. The left wants a civil war. It won't win.
Daniel Wynn, that's a cheesy analogy, Greg.
What is?
The one with cheese.
Oh, the burrito one. Well, let me tell you this. I'm going to say it has mathematical sway because in the Richard Cox sense, there's the reality is closer to cheese on the burrito than the extermination of millions of people and starting a war that costs 40 million lives. And all you democracy fans, Hitler was elected in a fair democratic election. Yay for democracy. Good job.
The
everyone that talks to, they're all half-wits. Just pay attention.
Who? Which group?
The democracy crowd. Democracy.
Oh, yes, yes.
It's the democracy crowd that doesn't give a fuck about our rights.
Right. Exactly. 100%. Or, yeah.
We have you fight wars over violated rights, not missing an election.
Did you see what happened yesterday with that AB 1955? In California, that's the Newsom signs AB 1955 that allows schools to keep information secrets from their kids. So if your kid tells the teacher at school that he's transgender, the teacher by law cannot tell the parents. There's this thing you're supposed to tell your kids that if anyone ever has secret, if someone walks up to your kids and says to the kid, hey, whatever you do, don't tell your parents this, you're supposed to tell your kids, hey, that's exactly what you need to tell me right away. I've had like 3 or 4 people on the show who've been molested at a young age, and they all agreed. That's like the conversation. Like if their parents would have had that conversation with them, it would have stopped it. Secrets with strangers. Daniel Wynn, Greg, it's a great analogy. I just couldn't resist the pun.
It works. Thanks. I missed the cheesy part. When I first thought, I was thinking of like onions on the hamburger, but I thought that might be too confusing for people. I asked for no onions. I got onions. That guy's fucking Hitler.
Did you see the video that the kid's in, the BlackRock video?
No.
2 years ago, 2 years earlier, BlackRock filmed a video at the school about the investments that they make in communities, and the boys in the video twice. The shooter.
It's interesting. Send that to me. They're DEI big, BlackRock.
Yeah. They're the creators of it. The ESG thing. I think they're the creators and enforcers of it, right?
I want to explain something to you.
Please.
There's this notion that I saw a headline that Trump's planning massive tax cuts for his I don't remember if it was supporters or donors, but the wealthy don't necessarily vote their self-interest. The economy's in a shithole, right?
Right.
I've never made more money than I have under Joe Biden. Never made money like this. Inflation doesn't really affect me. The cost of housing doesn't really affect me. The cost of food doesn't really affect me.
Avocado's going up 30 cents an avocado. Doesn't affect
I don't like them anyways.
Gas going up $1 a gallon doesn't affect you.
Why do those things have no impact on me? Because they're the chump change of my world. What matters to me is the price of stock. And the stock market's doing great. And so these people will fuck this economy while getting rich in the market. Biden will never cross BlackRock nor Vanguard. And everyone with money will be okay, relatively okay. My concern is for my fucking 10 kids. And not while I'm alive. But the opportunities that await them are being squandered now while I get wealthy. Inflation is fantastic reason to vote Biden out of office because it's destroying the middle and lower class, destroying them. Doesn't mean shit to me. I don't give a fuck about tax rate. 90% or 10%. I'm going to pay about 20 or 30. That's what I'm going to pay. And you ain't getting any more. Why? Because the very people that will ask for the 90% marginal tax rate, look, we're taxing the rich on 90%, will create the instruments and the avenues and the approaches by which they can actually only pay 20 and enrich a new class of attorneys and tax accountants. We've seen it done. You're not going to get 90% from any fucking rich person. Maybe some old lady that's senile and was going to give it to cats. But the rest of us are going to find somewhere to go, somewhere to live, some shelter, something. There's way. It'll be presented to us. They'll be pounding at the door. The phone will ring with ways to not participate in that bit of stupidity. It's all for show. In the meantime, it's the people on the plantation and the middle class that are getting fucked. And why doesn't Hollywood care about that, really? Do they know it? Nah, they're stupid. The ones that do know or kind of know or should know, they don't care, really.
Well, and I think a lot of them are afraid to speak up.
That's just their audience. They have bodyguards to keep them from their audience.
Right.
I'm sitting here, I'm looking across the water at Gaza. These guys come, I can name 4 or 5 people that come with 20, 15, 30, more than Trump gets security guys. You know what? To keep them from their fucking audience. Name your celebrity will be shot by a fan, not by someone who doesn't even know who the fuck that is.
Right.
By a fan. And do they care what those fans pay in taxes? Not even a fucking little bit. Do they care what schools they can send their kids to? Not even a little bit.
Well, we've already established they don't care about their kids.
They don't even know how to. The element of the underserved community that's figuring out the Democrats is the best hope this country has. People on the plantation that are like, wait a minute, man, I think this is like a plantation.
I've been saying that for a few years now. It's kind of a weird thing to say, but the only person who can, I've been taking it to its extreme, but the only person who can save us is the black man. The black man needs to stand up and be like, hey, I'm tired of being forced to play the victim. And set the rest of us free. So it's taking the thought to an extreme, but
now Buckley said 60 years ago that the Great Society was a continuation of the Southern plantations.
Did you watch the convention last night?
No, with a crowd here interested, I kind of would. But look, it's got a circus-like vibe that a little bit bores me. And I know the candidates' positions better than will ever be articulated when they get up there. And it's important only in the sense of how is this being packaged for public consumption. I hope it works. And I'll get to hear all of that. But I think the general audience for the convention is the people that are still a little bit clueless as to what's going on, what the differences are. If I turned it on, I probably would have flipped through CNN to listen to them.
Yeah.
I made a point of following what was going on through the New York Times website.
I've been listening to them a lot too. It's pretty funny. I've been listening to them on Sirius XM, CNN, and they're like beating puppies. It's crazy. All the commentators have basically just collapsed. They have no energy. They can't speak. They're fucking lost. It's really enjoyable. And they hate their guy and they can't hide it. There were two great speakers last night for sure. The father of Laken Riley spoke, and he told the story about the guy who came up from South America and was running from rape and murder charges in South America, and then came into the United States and raped and killed his daughter, Laken Riley, and how he still hasn't heard from Biden or Kamala, but that Trump reached out to him right away. and wanted to meet him. That was a powerful moment.
You think at the Democratic convention they're going to have some cop come up and talk about how savagely he was attacked by the crowd January 6th, and then he fought 100 bad guys off in Fallujah, but he knew he was going to die, and these guys were saying, Trump sent me to kill you. You think you're going to get that?
Yeah.
Just wait.
And then there was a black woman whose
the issues are more important than the theater. In the Lake and Riley thing, they couldn't do enough evil to that fucking guy that killed her.
And then a black woman stood up and basically said, hey, my son served as a Marine, came back home to after his service in the United States, came back home, was then, stabbed and murdered in New York City by 4 guys, and told the story how Alvin Briggs let them go.
Briggs or Braggs?
Sorry, Braggs. Alvin Braggs let them go.
He's not the amino acid guy, is he?
No, he's the fat black guy who was the Soros guy. Yeah.
What's the amino acids? Is that Braggs?
That's Braggs. You know who bought them?
Sarah?
No. They're in a lot of trouble right now. They got some really bad PR. Bill Gates found some seed oil spray that he's trying to put on every single piece of fruit. It's called, to preserve it, it's called like APEE or something. And the new owners of Braggs, it's a famous singer and her husband who's a famous actor. Oh, Katy Perry and someone else bought it. And basically they were accused that all their apples have that AP on them. And so, I mean, as soon as my wife heard that, she just poured that shit out.
The Braggs out.
Yeah, poured the Braggs out. The apple cider
it's
vinegar.
got the APEPAP in it.
Yeah. Sprayed. The seed oil sprayed. Oh, Orlando Bloom and Katy Perry. Thank you. They bought Braggs. And then they're denying it. They're saying it's not true. But I bet you their sales have fucking plummeted.
I told you that I just love when Greg Gutfield didn't know who Steph Curry was.
Yeah.
And I was just struck with this fucking overwhelming jealousy. And I was thinking, I wish I could build a system to, like, if I could get rid of every Katy Perry, if I clearly did not know who that was, I would love to free up that space. And Orlando Bloom. Like the name Gwyneth Paltrow would get me to stop reading anything. I could be reading the probably the most important thing ever written, and if there was a mention of Gwyneth Paltrow, if I scanned that up ahead, I'd stop. To hear what she thinks pains me. Do people do that to you?
There's people that I wish I didn't know who they were.
No, just like your basic exposure to them is, oh, shut the fuck up, almost instantly. Yes. And so you realize it'd be better for you if you could not see them or hear them.
That's how I feel about Kimberly Cheadle. I can't even believe what I'm hearing come out of her mouth.
She's a DEI hire.
The number one contender to become
she knew that to serve her master well, she would double down on Jill and Kamala and leave Hitler relatively unprotected. And we'll concentrate on making sure we get more fat round chicks with ponytails and aviator sunglasses that can spin circles if someone gets shot. You've got to show that clip. I don't know. That's something everyone needs to see.
Yeah, we played that. We played that a lot.
It's like you don't need to know anything about law enforcement to watch Keystone Cops and know that something's gone wrong, right?
Oh my goodness. It's
right?
So bad. Yes.
This was very much like that. And I got to tell you, it's amazing to me that the worst police action I've ever witnessed is from Secret Service protecting Trump.
Yeah. Someone here calls it wokery.
The ponytail brigade.
Yeah. We played that so much on the show. It's so fucking ridiculous.
Good. The audio, did you catch the audio on it too?
No, with the 3 girls.
Well, what do we do? What do we do?
Oh, yeah. Daniel Garrity, my 3-year-old got excited to see the podcast and the coach who invented his workouts. I've created a little monster.
It's cute.
Hey, what do you think about all the people?
What's his name? The little 3-year-old.
Daniel, what's your son or daughter's name? For some reason, I assumed it was the daughter. What do you think about the videos coming out like Jack Black and Tenacious D in front of a stadium full of people wishing that Trump had been killed?
Hey, you know the story of the Emperor's New Clothing? Right? He comes out naked.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
And there's one guy, his kid stands up and goes, he's fucking naked, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there'd be more characters in the story. It's clearly not just the Emperor. There's others involved. They're going to help with this, spread this idea that he's actually got clothes on, right?
Right.
Okay. Well, if amongst them, they're going, hey, it's working. I think we're fooling everyone. You'd tell the guy to shut up and you'd punish him for saying that.
Right.
Jack Black or what is it? Tenacious D? What's the fucking?
Yes. The old fat guy. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think the group is Tenacious D. And it's
okay,
Jack
I think you're right.
Other clown. Well, the other clown's the one that set it up, right?
He said, "Happy birthday. What's your wish?" And he said, "My wish is that next time the shooter doesn't miss."
Yeah, Jack should just say, "I had no idea he was going to answer that way."
Yeah.
It wasn't a setup. It was his own doing. Yeah. No, but what happened is he said too much. Hey, listen, what's the comedian I like? The big white hickey dude that does such a good Trump.
Shane Ellis.
Shane Ellis. No. Is it? No.
Tyler.
No.
Tyler. Shane Ellis does a great one.
I don't think that's the right name.
Let me see.
Shane, it's important because he does the shtick about Trump would be funny if shot.
Oh.
And I didn't really appreciate it at the time, but I think he's hilarious. Is it Shane Gillis? I thought it was.
Shane Gillis, maybe.
Shane Gillis. I thought it was and the guy's fucking hilarious. But I still think he's funny, and I wouldn't cancel him over it. And I know he's wishing he hadn't done that.
Let's see if I can pull it up here.
And I don't want to see Biden shot.
No, absolutely.
Even though I would enjoy the brief President Harris, that would be thoroughly enjoyable, but I still don't want to see him shot. And I think he deserves to be in prison, but I don't want to see him assassinated.
All right. Of all the presidents, I think it's fair to say Donald Trump would be the funniest one to see get shot. Just because he'd be in the middle of a speech talking shit. Just, you're gay. The shooter would be coming at him and be like, sit down, get down. What a loser, get down, sit down. The noise he would make when he got hit. Even if you love Donald Trump, it would be funny. As soon as he got hit, he'd be like, eh.
Let me get my shoes. I got you, sir. Let me get my shoes.
The rest of the joke, which was my favorite part, that didn't really, a lot of people didn't like it, was I think Biden's the first president you could punch assassinate. I saw you do.
I think he's a brilliant comedian, and I don't think that's all that funny. I didn't before. I don't now. Cancel him over it? Nope. No, I think the upsetness at Jack Black is not coming from the right, but from the left.
Oh, interesting. Wow, I hadn't even thought of it like that.
Look, we said he's like Hitler, but don't shoot him because it proves everyone knows he's not really like Hitler. And we're like, oh, fuck you. We were all pretending, you idiot. We were pretending he was like Hitler so you could vote for him. So you weren't supposed to shoot Hitler.
So they're all over the internet. I've seen like a dozen stories of people who've come out and said that they wish Trump.
Conservatives don't know anything about Tenacious D.
Yeah, that's true.
Not 1 in 100 Trump supporter has any sense of who Jack Black fucking is. That's their world, pal.
Pat, you're missing. Pat's saying Greg may recheck that one. It's being played literally all over Fox and Newsmax. That's just reporting. That's just reporting.
That's where I saw it. But I'm telling you, they're not canceling them.
Yeah, that's the distinction. He sometimes has trouble with nuances. Yeah, they can't. You're right. The canceling is coming from.
It's the left that's canceling.
You're right.
The right can't cancel them because they didn't even know who it was.
Right.
The right's showing it to make the point as to who the left is. And the left is canceling because you're telling everyone who we are.
Jay Brown, come on. Everyone knows who Jack Black is, but no one knows who Tenacious D is.
That is not true.
And I know who Jack Black is, but I've never heard of Tenacious D.
No, listen. 90% of the right has no idea who Jack Black is, and 90% of the left has no idea who George Orwell was. That's just how that is. 90% of the left, Biden's constituency couldn't recite the Pledge of Allegiance. If their fucking lives depended on it, there's no conservative who could not. We're a generation away from the left not even know what hand you'd put over your fucking heart.
Right.
It's like this, right? No, it's a fake. The left is offering us a fake culture, a fake society, where 2 + 2 is 5. Mommy has a dick. Where the color of your skin is a determinant of your moral worth, and all else about you, where character matters not one whit.
Yeah, everyone knows Dan Guerrero. Everyone knows. I think everyone knows School of Rock, who was born in the '90s, also. But I don't know who Tenacious D is. I had never seen that guy before. The super duper obese guy. Like even fatter than Jack Black. I'd never seen that guy in my life.
There's a people in the 90s that know Jack Black and School of Rock, and there's others that can tell you the difference between an adverb and an adjective.
Ken Walters, I'm old. I know Jack Black from School of Rock. Other than that, I haven't thought of him until yesterday. Yeah. But here's the thing. But the point is this: Greg is saying it's not the right that's canceling him; it's the left, and I agree 100%. Hey, and just to say that Fox News is playing it just means that Fox News is reporting it. Hey, let me ask you this: when you were running CrossFit, if someone would have said, tweeted, "I wish Trump would have been killed," would you have fired them?
Russell Berger lost his job for calling what was the term, the phrase sinners.
Oh, the abortion people. That was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back, though, right?
The distraction was not needed, was becoming increasingly tedious. I couldn't tell him to shut up because I understood where he's come from and he had that right to do it. But I think of sinners, and in the literal sense, I think of people that deserve to burn in hell if I follow his evangelical spirit. And there's a sense of an enticement of violence to it because ideas have consequences.
I don't think you would have fired someone for saying, I think Trump should have. I can't see it. Maybe I'm wrong. But I also don't think you want someone working at a job who, I think it screams volumes of someone's character.
I understand Starbucks' concern with your proselytizing as a barista.
Like every person who walks up to the counter, you're like, "Hey, make sure you don't kill any children today."
What was it? Was it BLM buttons or what was?
Oh,
the,
yeah.
That
you weren't allowed to. I was kind of surprised Starbucks put its foot down there.
They wouldn't do it again.
Lolly, 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 get your adverbs here. I don't understand, but it's funny. You're on a roll today, Daniel. Keep the money coming.
I knew who Jack Black was. I also knew when I was 14 years old that there was 28 grams to an ounce. But all of that came as a distraction from what it is that finally congealed into the person I am and what I've been able to do. I'm going to tell you, it being able to give me the names of all the characters in School of Rock and repeat the dialogue isn't a hallmark of, suspicions go off. The things that were important to get across to our kids 100 years ago, 200 years ago, 1,000 and 5,000 years ago were relatively consistent. There's almost no sign of any of that in California schools right now. So I think it might make more sense to send your kids to Anne Frank High and lock them in the attic than it would be to send them to public school. My kids will never go back to public school, regardless of what our situation is.
Pat, I haven't heard anyone call to not go to. In all the stories I've seen, I haven't heard anyone talking about boycotting Tenacious D or Jack Black. Just like I heard no one talking about boycotting Bill Cosby's stand-up routines.
They shut down the rest of the tour.
They did, though, by choice.
Well,
Jack Black made a statement. Yeah,
well, because he's embarrassed. Because he does. Listen, it's like when you quit your job after you've stolen money. They found out, I'm going to quit.
Yeah.
It'd be better if you quit before you were arrested, not after you're fired and arrested.
Pat, Bill Cosby wasn't canceled. He was accused of drugging and raping women. And that fucked up his ticket sales.
Finally, he's funny.
If you don't want to buy Bud Light because they're putting their money towards something that you don't agree with, that's not canceling.
Tenacious D. Do you remember Tosh? Seb, did you go to see Tosh for this 0.0?
Yeah, that was amazing. I really enjoyed it.
And he was getting some groans on some jokes that would be instantly called by almost all media misogynist.
Yep.
There were some groans, and he laughed and explained that his gig, there's 500 people in here, and I'll do 3 of these a week for 25 weeks a year, and allowed me on my 40th birthday to take 65 of my friends in a private jet to Italy and party like there's no tomorrow.
Right.
And that's with 0.0000012% of the world's population.
Yeah, that was
great. Fuck half of you.
Right.
That's the reality when the offended or aggrieved party is outside of your audience.
Yeah, Pat, the
Bud Light had to stop all creative activity because the left is going, "You fucked up, fucker. We can't admit that." That's all that happened.
Bud Light was a failed campaign, Pat. A failed ad campaign.
Gutfeld or Britt Hume or Steve Bannon, you think they're Jack Black fans? You think they're listening to Tenacious D? You think they got Kesha's albums?
Who's Kesh?
I don't know.
Oh.
Keisha?
Oh, I don't know who that is.
Hey, what? There's nothing that, just pick someone. Taylor Swift does. Nothing she says. There's nothing. It will have an impact on 99% of the world's population. You think she's huge, but she's huge in this small sliver of fucking people. Even with more record sales than anyone ever. Even with. I remember you telling me in the airport, you realize this is the 1/10 of 1% of the finest human beings on earth right here?
Yeah, yeah.
And I thought, shit, I'm going to throw up. Thanks. You just fucked up air travel for me.
Yep. Do you remember when you were a kid, everyone wore a collared shirt and shorts were unacceptable on airplanes? Do you remember that?
I don't know, but I knew things. I knew things about the Beatles that my dad didn't know, and I thought he was like borderline retarded. He couldn't name the four fuckers. He was developing the world's best air-to-air missile systems to keep our country free. He missed out on the Beatles to some extent. How much of what I have, what I know, what I hold dear, is it comes from these air-to-air missile system or the Beatles. I'm gonna tell you, it's the missile. It's the missile influence is profoundly greater than John, Paul, George, and Ringo. But I couldn't see that until I was 50 years old.
Oh, I'm glad it took you so long because I feel so like I'm so behind the curve. God, I'm so impressed that you know who Keisha was. I just Googled her. I've never seen her before in my life.
I've made myself aware of the people I'm trying I'm trying to filter out. So it's a little bit of a bummer. That's why I know Tenacious D. I wish I didn't.
I say this with all peace and love. She's another Instagram whore.
I got a weird Taylor Swift fact for you.
Please.
It's some I was gonna say rock critic, but I don't think that's rock. Some music critic said that only Bob Dylan has had more words per song than Taylor Swift.
What's the implication there?
I'm not none. I don't know.
It's
interesting.
Just an interesting fact. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I'd rather. Yeah.
Keisha's given a TED talk.
Oh.
I'll show you guys I just went through her Instagram account. Obligatory nose ring, giant titties. It's Gwyneth Paltrow with a giant rack. So this is a singer?
Do you know about Billie Eilish?
I do. I just learned about Billie Eilish recently.
Okay.
And I listened to a couple of her songs. I wanted to kill myself. And someone said that's how all her songs are. Have you heard her music?
I'm sure I have. It's pretty hard, but I couldn't identify a piece.
I didn't recognize the songs. I picked her like two biggest songs. I did not recognize the songs. I do recognize Taylor Swift songs when I hear them. I mean, I don't know it's Taylor Swift, but if someone's like, that's Taylor Swift, I'm like, oh,
You
I've
got
heard
little
that
boys
song.
that dance to her.
I do?
Yeah.
Oh. But
that's my 10-year-old girl's influence on your kids, and I apologize.
But man, Billie Eilish, man, that is some depressing shit. Ken Walters, Bob Dylan grew up 3 blocks from me as a kid, and one of my best friend's parents bought his parents' home in the late 70s and still own it. That's a good story.
Yeah, that's cool. We have a friend, George Ryan, that grew up next door to Billy Blanks, the Tybo guy. And black guy, white SWAT cop, but Billy Blanks was like a father to him. His dad wasn't around, and he taught him karate. How's that for a fucking good story about Billy Blanks?
Yeah, well, and George Ryan.
George Ryan's known to me to be a fine human being. Billy Blanks, I don't know anything about, but George Ryan says, dude, he treated me like he was the father I didn't have. He lived next door. My dad took off. He was my hero. Like, that's a great man.
Hey, Pat, I want to explain to you something. When I was a kid, there was a commercial with an old lady, and she would say, "Where's the beef?" And it made Wendy's like the most popular fucking hamburger restaurant in the world for many years. And it was
really?
It was so popular. I made that part up. And it was so popular. I had never eaten at Wendy's until I saw the commercial.
Okay.
Right. There was one 2 blocks from my house. And it was great. Did you enjoy those commercials, Greg, as a kid? I guess maybe as a kid.
It was cute, but I mean, you kind of it wasn't side splitting every time I heard it, or even it lost something.
But it went on forever and ever and ever. And then she finally died. And it was an old lady. I don't know, she was maybe over 80 when she claimed her fame. And so I would suggest that was a successful campaign.
Okay, I want to give you another example. This is what caused me to question, like, was it a big and famous campaign, or was it a successful one? And here's an example that highlights the difference. Do you remember the Nissan ad that had the Z car and Barbie in it to the music? You got me going. You got me where I can't sleep at night song, the mega hit. You got to pull it up. Nissan ad with Barbie in a plastic car. You got me going, babe. You got me where I can't sleep at night. Who the fuck is that? I should know all of this. You all know the ad.
Is it this one?
Yeah, keep going.
I was in college, and so we didn't have a TV.
I've had a period like that, but it wasn't due to college.
Oh.
Girl, you really got me now. You got me so I get bad night.
Did this sell a lot?
Keep going. There she is. He even gets the girl.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So here's the deal on it. It may have been, it won every fucking thing an ad can win. Clio's, it was fucking huge, genius, and it is. It's brilliant, right?
Yeah.
They put it was on every channel, on every show. The dealers had a different take on it. We haven't made that car in 30 years, you fuckers. It's doing nothing for us, and we're paying for it. Fuck you. That was the dealer's response. Fuck you and your successful ad campaign. Everyone's patting themselves on the back, and I'm going broke.
Where's the Beef? The commercial debuted during the 1984 Super Bowl and became a cultural phenomenon, helping to increase Wendy's annual revenue by 31%.
Good.
So that one worked.
Yeah.
That was the same year they released, Apple released the ad on the Super Bowl for the first Macintosh.
But you get my point.
Yes, yeah, totally get your point. And so there's been failed ad campaigns too, where it makes people not want to buy shit.
Yeah, I don't know anything about advertising because I did a business without any advertising, promotion, or sales department or marketing. I left all that out because I didn't understand it, and I feel that I'm largely immune to it. I love that Nissan commercial. I wasn't looking for a Datsun 240Z afterwards.
Right.
And so I'm not, but I did like it, and I would love to be in advertising. I just don't think that I'm amenable to its charms.
Right. I agree with that about you. There are commercials that I've seen 100 times and then ask myself, I still don't even know what I like the commercial and I still don't even know what they're selling.
I've got a bunch of those, like that Bambi, the outsourced human resources thing. It's advertised on Sirius all the time.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't know how to type it into my computer and every time it comes out, I go, what did he say? What is it again?
Right.
He goes, it's ban to the VE. What's ban and what's to the? It's an exponent? Like, I don't.
Hey, Pat, you can't keep pivoting.
Sign that you can't read.
Say that again.
A storefront sign you can't read because they got clever with the font.
Right.
That's like using a barfing clown for a logo.
Pat, it's impossible to talk to you because you're always pivoting. You're always moving. Anytime, you keep shifting.
What did he say?
He's just always shifting. He said failed ads make people not want to buy shit, much different than people like Kid Rock standing on stage telling you to boycott Bud Light and you guys all agree, cancel City. Listen, dude, it was their ad campaign. Like, you're conflating all sorts of shit. It makes it impossible to speak with you.
Yeah.
It's like talking to someone, why don't you like Trump? I hate his hair. Okay. But why don't you think he should be running the country? Well, because his wife posed naked in Playboy. Okay, but why shouldn't he be running the country?
Did she?
Yeah, Melania?
Yeah.
I don't know if there's naked pictures of her all over the internet. Melania Trump nude. Yeah.
I know that exists.
But you didn't know if it was Playboy. I just made that up. Let me see. Playboy. To me, it's all play. And to me, everyone naked is Playboy. Oh shit! Everything's blurred. I have some censorship on my. I have to click each one to see it. I've even warmed up to her.
What am I supposed to not like about her?
Whatever CNN tells you not to like about her.
There was a figure dear to you and I. She wants to jump out here and say hi. She can't, but she was blonde with giant boobs, and articulate, and always kind. And she drew crazy wrath from the community. And it was the first time I'd come to see this pathological hatred for blondes with big tits. It's weird. There's people that have a natural favorable response, and there's another chunk, and they seem to be trying to demonstrate something. I don't know. It doesn't seem genuine, but it's a lot of invective.
What's that mean?
Just language, negative language, just harsh words. She was hated by some people. And you just it's like Melania, like what? She's pretty? Is that the reason? I mean, these are the things I know about her. She's pretty.
Yeah.
She's soft spoken. She's every time I see her, she's do some kind of charity that makes sense to me.
Anytime I've heard her speak, she's more eloquent and articulate, and is able to transfer what she's trying to say to me better than Kamala. Every time. Blade Walker, attractive people bum people out sometimes.
I've never given thought to that past what I know blondes with big tits fucking inspire something.
Graceful. Also graceful, yes.
Look, Marilyn Monroe's demise seems to have just excited a lot of people. But Jane Mansfield got beheaded in a car accident, I think was the story. Who was the gal that married the billionaire? Playboy chick with the big
old titty. Yeah, Anna Nicole Smith.
Yes, yeah.
God, she was wonderful. Sad story. Both her and her son OD'd. Her son OD'd, and then she OD'd.
We know of the demise of blondes with big tits because that, for a certain slice of the community, is like, yeah. I saw comments from the jurors on the dissection of
OJ's wife.
Of OJ's wife.
What was her? Nicole Brown Simpson.
That basically, her I'm not going to repeat it, but it's exactly along the lines of what I'm talking about. Blonde with big tits has to die. There was a juror that was very comfortable expressing that and talked about the photos she saw. This is some of the kinky depths of human depravity here.
And that was from a woman too.
Yes. You remember the story?
Yeah. It's really disgusting.
She got to see in autopsy photos implanted and just loved it. Big old fake titties. Sounds like a not guilty to me.
Heidi Kroom, blondes with big tits equals too much cheese on my burrito equals Hitler.
That's right. That's the logic. Therefore, my mom has a cock. See? Once you explain it, it makes sense. Yeah, thanks, Heidi. They got to come over to my house again.
Pat Lang, now OJ was acquitted because a juror was jealous of fake boobs. No, Pat, you're missing the point. Secret Service wasn't put on the roof because the roof was too slanted.
No, it wasn't because of just one juror. I think it was all of them. But that could be. I mean, you may have actually accidentally come to a conclusion that's correct. But it wasn't. That wasn't the lone juror. It was the compelling logic of the because no one can deny the forceful logic of rhyme couplets. Once you hear the glove don't fit, you must acquit. You're like, well, that fucking rhymes. That's a not guilty.
That's enough for that jury.
Yep.
Rap lyric.
Yep.
Jeffrey Birchfield, is that tea unsweetened Greg is drinking?
It is. I think it's a Coke product too, talking about boycott.
Greg used to many years ago drink this drink from Starbucks, and it would be a black iced tea from Starbucks, and he would always say with no water. Meaning, I guess that means you don't dilute it, right?
Right.
And one time after being with Greg, and watching him drink one of those every day for a year, I switched from coffee to try the tea. What's this tea thing Greg's drinking? And we're driving and I'm drinking it and my mouth starts watering. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm going to throw up. I go, hey, Greg, I feel like I'm going to throw up. And he's like, oh yeah, it can do that to you. I'm like, Jesus Jesus Christ. That shit was so strong. It was like sucking on a banana peel. It was so bitter. It was, I don't know how you drank that. You never put sugar in your tea your whole life?
No. You know, when I was a little boy going to Alabama for the summer, that was how it came. But it's not my cup of tea.
Jake Chapman, Greg, does Viagra work on a paralyzed man?
Oh, let me think about that.
Jake always has the best questions.
It's Viagra work on a paralyzed man. I would not like it would on an unparalyzed man, but I would think it would have to. I think it would increase the incidence of even the incidental, I don't even know why it's happening, erection.
That's most of mine. Polar Bear 81. I have big boobs. People think they must be fake. Nope. The sex industry has made women with big boobs as sex objects. Can you please text me a photo? I will tell you whether they're big or not.
Wait. The sex industry has made women with big boobs as sex objects.
I don't think that's true either.
Yeah, the sex industry.
I think it's men. And women. Everyone stares at big boobs. Women and men stare at big boobs alike.
I don't think noticing or being attracted to big boobs needs explanation. I think hating someone for having big boobs is what needs to be explained.
Right. That's the pathology.
Why a guy drives a nice car, I understand. Why you feel compelled to take a nail to the side of it when you don't even know the fucking guy, that I want to hear explained.
Right.
And watch you go to jail.
The guy who wants a nice car doesn't need explaining.
No, I understand James Mansfield's attraction. What I don't understand is hating her. Do you have to hate her so that you can call her a sex object? See, that's where I worry this comes from. It seems to me that anything heterosexual got bad press, even the objects of heterosexual desire. And so the blonde with big tits is a no-go, but a fireman in assless chaps is cool.
Except him.
Well, it's because
holding a hose.
It's because of the dudes buying it.
Well, because you're afraid that someone's going to call you homophobic if you don't like it.
I think erotica depicting males I think it's consumer is men.
Oh. For sure. For sure.
Someone should do it. Someone should do an experiment where you just give random women an oil painting of some dude with a huge cock and then give it to like 10 random gay guys.
See who likes it more?
Yeah.
What's crazy too is yeah. I don't think women are texting each other the kind of shit that men are texting each other. You know
I told Maggie if she could live in my head for 5 minutes, she would be absolutely appalled at the place that sex plays in my head. I was like shocked, like wouldn't believe it. Wouldn't be able to stop talking about it for the rest of her life. Oh my fucking God. It would be like someone it'd be worse than the Thai cave experience. You know, the little boy stuck in the cave?
Yes.
It'd be just beyond anything she could ever imagine. And she's a horny girl. That's just my sense of it.
Pat, what do you mean you think? I would think gay dudes wouldn't want a huge cock. What do you mean think? Jan Clark, I'd be arrested if my group chat was leaked.
That's funny. That's a quote that ends up on a warrant, you know?
I can hear. How many bald eagles have you seen in Idaho?
Dude, every day. Yeah.
You are seeing them every day?
Yeah. It's like whales off of Kauai.
Damn.
Like, please, I'm not going to turn my head another time to see another fucking whale. Let's talk about something else. Oh, they're great. But they're everywhere.
If you just go out to your dock right now, and pull up a lawn chair, you'll see one eventually.
Yeah, and within minutes.
And the babies are coming out of the nest now, right?
I don't know their cycle. I honestly don't.
Are all birds on the same cycle? Because we just had 2 hummingbirds graduate from the nest.
I'm only here in the summer, so I can't speak to the seasons.
Right.
It's great. I assume nothing's here in the winter and everything's here in the summer. But there's one of my neighbors has a pylon that a bald eagle sits on and eats shit and grooms itself and shits and picks feathers and stretches and does shit for hours. And we know it's just on the way home.
A big one?
Yeah. I think I sent you a picture.
Did you? Hey, what about the wakeboarding? You been doing any of that?
No, but it's not really wake surfing. It's a surfboat scene. The thing throws up a 3-foot standing wave.
Have you guys not done any of that yet? Because Maggie's so pregnant.
Yeah, that was her cup of tea, right?
Right.
I'm not going to let her drive a boat and drag me. I'd rather, be called Adolf Hitler than do that.
Yeah. You're 3 weeks away from the 5th child.
Yes. Yeah, we're in serious nesting mode. It's great.
It's just shit coming from Amazon, like wipes and warmers and
We got the whole setup
and carriers and.
Yep. And what's cool is that market it develops at such a rapid rate. You can't have kids faster than strollers and car seats and high chairs change, and for the better.
Yeah, totally.
I still think there's an opportunity to take a big step ahead with a player like Specialized to make the baby stroller of the future. Because the truth is that a stroller should weigh 11 pounds,
right,
and be unbreakable. And they're moving to that so slowly. But I think part of it is that the 11-pound bike market, those 11-pound bikes are being sold to 50 and 60-year-olds that are filthy rich, and they can afford the 12 grand, 15 grand, 20 grand
for a stroller.
And you'd have to do the same thing for the stroller, perhaps.
Like start there until the prices came down.
So old guys with young wives would have them. I'd have one. And Keisha.
Hey, I remember that, putting the stroller in and out of the back of the car and thinking to myself, fucking, like, I work out every single day and this is fucking hard.
Do you know what a difficult thing it is to get your kids excited about cycling when their fucking bike weighs more than they do?
Right.
And so you get, let's go on a ride,
Yeah, hey, even the 3 little Specialized mountain bikes you got my kids, which are like best in class, we've been riding them a lot this summer, and I see them, like, those bikes drag my kids around. You know what I mean? Like, they have trouble getting out the front yard through the gate, even though it's 3.5 feet wide. Yeah, you're totally right. Hey, that was what it was like when the first electric bikes too. I remember one of the first electric bikes you got weighed like 70 pounds. And I remember thinking, at this point, you might as well just have a fucking scooter. What a pain in the ass.
They're not getting lighter.
They're not getting lighter?
Oh, but they're getting more powerful. So the truth is that new Levo it has so much motorcycle characteristic. Crazy suspension. You can pedal directly at curbs. Now you got to be smart and lean back and give a hard downstroke on as you make contact, but it's so crazy doable. It's something you couldn't do in a car and keep your tires.
Blade Walker, Greg still busted nuts at 113 years old. Good job. It's your kid, right?
In crack years. Hey, you know, the funniest stuff on the internet is sits in the comments for deplorable, shocking, disgusting things. And it's usually one of the early comments. You don't get the fucking master stroke comment number 215. There's people that have just stand-up capacity that see things that the rest of us are like, oh my fucking God, is the most articulate thing you can do. And they're like comment number 1 or 2, and it's just like ripped. Right. Have you seen that?
Yeah. So Sousa plays that game. It's fucking so cool. So on a few big accounts, he set notifications on where the second someone posts on that account, he gets a notification in his phone. He has like a handful of them. And then he has this game with himself to make a witty comment and see how many fucking people he can get to like it. Yeah, on someone else's account. You know what I mean? And it's such a fun game. And every once in a while he'll send one to me that has like 10,000 likes, and they're always so funny. It's such a great game to play.
Send that to me, and I want to
play that game.
I've got some insights that the whole world's not interested in. But specific to that, it was a YouTube video on the inadequacies of PCR testing. Where commenters with anonymous names revealed the bullshit that sat in peer-reviewed literature claiming that they had sequenced the virus. And here it is, and you know, so that I was talking before about hilarious comments. Some of the most insightful things I've seen on COVID came out of comments, and it was really fundamentally unrelated to the efficacy of PCR. It was on the reality of whether this paper that claims to have sequenced the virus could have possibly sequenced the fucking virus. And the authority and the way that guy handled and defended himself, and others came in too, it was absolutely stunning. And it was so cool because there was no way to censor it, because there's no engine that would have understood, filtered, or seen it. There was no one filtering for censoring COVID information that would have ever seen this thing. I went immediately to Bob Kaplan with it.
What did he think?
We were blown away. We were blown away. So this guy says, so you're going to tell me if it wasn't sequenced, maybe you can show me what it would look like, where it was sequenced. And what came back was like 4 hours of like, wow. Question anticipated, answer prepared ahead of time, boom, in real time. There it is, like this. You go through them all and you go, wow, you're right. You're right. Right. To sequence thing, the hardest thing is isolating the particles. That's 90% of the paper, is what you did to get to a uniform, homogeneous mixture where you had through gradient diffusion through a centrifugation or some electrophoresis, you had some sense of particle size. It's a hard thing to do. And at that point, you lies. None of this was lies. And without saying so, what we understood, everyone that sat with this information, like, okay, they didn't sequence it, but they got the sequence. So they didn't need to sequence it because they fucking made it.
Trish, NIH and gain of function had already sequenced the virus.
Yeah, they knew it. You don't need to sequence something you fucking built. It's be like, you don't have to analyze that. I can show you how I did it. You know?
Jake Chapman, set up notifications on your phone to comment on chats to get likes. Who would do that? The same person. You don't. It's the same reason why when I'm at the beach, I skip rocks and count how many skips I got when no one's looking.
No,
it has nothing to do with getting likes, like in the traditional sense of like posting something and wanting people to like it. It's just about being funny and just playing a game with yourself. It's like playing jacks.
Much of what I read, the genius is in the comments, not in the offering or the thing being commented on. That's what I'm telling you. There is often in comments rich veins of legitimate information. It's that way on this assassination attempt.
Craig's been commenting a man's name plus a number for years online trying to get likes. Then in May 2020, it finally worked. He broke the internet. Craig was too good at the game. Oh, my God. Oh, I'm being facetious. Okay, good. I'm glad you're being facetious. Yeah, we do that for this shit show. Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you, Jake. For a second, you scared me. Okay, good.
My talents therein, and they're considerable. No tweet has ever, it's the shortest tweet that got read on every news channel in the world. And it put me in a place that I was never going to put myself, deliberately, knowingly, maybe. I'd love to tell you that was on purpose, because it is the best thing that ever happened to me. Listen, I've made in a horrible economy this year 5 times what I ever made uncanceled working for you fuckers. I'm homeschooling. I'm spending time with children I was never going to spend with my children. And I'm sitting here. I mean, look at this fucking thing.
Hey, when
I live next to John Elway, and look what he had to do to get that. All I had to do was say what, like Floyd 19.
Hey,
everyone's like jealous of me about how easy I got here.
At 10 p.m. at night, a staff at CrossFit, a black guy called me, and he was like in sheer terror. He was like almost crying. Maybe he was crying. And I go, "Hey, what's wrong? What's wrong?" And he goes, "This is true story." He goes, "Greg just made the greatest tweet of all time." And I'm like, "So why are you freaking out?" And he goes, "Because the internet's coming after me." And I had to go over to his house and bring him to my house because he thought because of your tweet, the internet was going to get him. It was so sad. But he just kept saying, "It's the greatest tweet of all time. It's the greatest tweet of all time." It was like he made a full court shot at the buzzer.
When paid to throw the game.
Were you when you tweeted that, did you know that it was the greatest tweet of all time? Were you like, "Wow, this is fucking amazing"?
No, it was a serious question, honest to God.
Like,
from the bottom of my heart, I really want to know: is this like Floyd 19? Is that what it is? Is it a new disease? We can have a vaccine for it here soon,
right?
The IHME that failed to fucking to get COVID even close to correct was now explaining to everyone after it became obvious they'd failed. They were going to turn their attention on police brutality and racism. This is a health metrics organization. People that are supposed to model disease are now going to model cops hating blacks for us. And what I said in the following tweet is, this ends in race wars. And where did I get that from? I put in quotations. I think I pulled it from the CDC. That's the CDC on quarantine. It always ends in race riots. Always. In every culture, in every age, that's the history of it. So I quoted that. And I got canceled, and guess what? We had race riots. Yeah, I'm nostril fucking canceled Thomas. And you know what? Hear me, not even a little bit bitter. The only downside is that I wish I'd thought of it instead of it happening. It's something I did for sure. But I wish it had been the plan all along. I wish I could have written it down on a card somewhere and shown you. And you go, "No, don't do it. Yeah, watch this, Floyd 19. And then someone threw $200 million at me. I would have done that fucking 20 years ago, guys. I liked that nobody ever had to explain why it was racist. Everyone just knew. That's fucking funny. Because it's like Hitler. I didn't get the fucking enough cheese on my burrito. You get it? Like Hitler. Like Hitler. Hitler means really bad and you don't like it. That's what Hitler means.
Right. The amount of uproar showed who were the sheeples. Are those Floyd 19 shirts for sale anywhere? No, I wish they were.
No one will make it.
Yeah, that is the truth. No one will make them.
I didn't try, but
I could probably buy. How much does a screen print? Oh, I was talking about screen printing, but I think I'm going to get some chickens. My Avi was at his piano lesson the other day, and the teacher had ordered some chickens through the internet. I guess you can just go to a website that has like 200 different chickens. You can buy the most outrageous looking chickens ever, and he picked 6 chickens, and they arrived in the mail, and they were there after Avi's piano lesson, and my 3 boys were there, and they're just 3-day-old chicks. And my kids played with them for like 40 minutes, and they want them.
So does your dog.
Yeah, you think I can train the Borbal, teach the Borbal not to eat those?
Yes.
You can just introduce them as just hold them up to his face and just tell her no.
That's not how I do it.
Oh, how would you do it?
When it's chomp, you go no. And then get another.
How would you do it? That would devastate my kids.
Yeah, it did my sister.
What? Oh, her dog ate some of her chicks.
She got chickens, and her and Jimmy Jordan were holding one, and the thing jumped and took flight and just made this downward arc right into the German Shepherd's mouth, and the dog just like swallowed. I mean, it wasn't just gone. No, the dog needs to see you taking care of them and know that they're yours and important, and the dog will farm up. Rafa wouldn't even bother Bunny. She'd lay on the grass and watch him graze near. When we'd leave, she'd post up by the sheep. Cat would scratch her face and make it bleed, and her tail would just wag.
I think I have to build. I think I also have to build a fence around where the coop is.
Yep, and you want to,
so they don't destroy the whole yard. My neighbor's like, "Hey, dude, they're gonna we have a shitload of them. You got to build a fence around the coop so they don't come and shit all over your yard. Your front door." Don't get what?
A rooster.
Oh, yeah. So then my neighbors were like, hey, we have eggs you can hatch yourself. And then someone else is like, don't do that. You might end up with a rooster. Like, wouldn't it be cool to own one of these, Greg?
Yeah. Yeah, they're crazy cool.
A buff, silky bantam?
I can just go down to North 40 and buy chickens. And they got like a dozen varieties, and they come in a little like Chinese food carton.
Like, is this a rooster? Like, can you just look at this and know this is a rooster? Like, I know nothing about chickens, but this looks like a rooster to me.
Not to me.
Oh. So just that thing on the head doesn't mean he's a rooster.
They all got that.
God, look how cheap they are. $4 to buy a chick. And look at all these varieties they have. You like this one? This one looks like a dinosaur, right? You like that one?
Yeah, Rhode Island Red. That's pretty much generic fucking chicken.
Oh yeah, he grows into
that's
that.
A little window. There we go. Rhode Island Red.
You know your chickens?
No.
Oh, you knew that. You knew that was the basic. Look at this.
I like Foghorn Leghorn.
Is that a real chicken kind?
Yeah. No, that's a cartoon character.
Yeah, I remember him. I say
boy.
This guy's amazing. A Poland fowl. That one's got an afro. That one's cool, right?
Yeah.
You can't even see his head.
I think it's silver polish, isn't it?
Yeah.
Could be Polish.
Oh, silver polish. Oh, but it says Poland fouls.
All right. And that kind of polish. They're spelled the same, right? Polish?
I guess so. Hens lay white eggs, non-setters. What does that mean? They don't sit on their eggs? I wonder what that means, non-setters. It should be non-sitters. Look at the tail on this one. A rare ornamental heritage breed.
It's going to be something funky to it. It'll get fungus infections or some fucking thing.
I made my kids watch like so many YouTube videos on how to raise them. Damn, this place has so look at this guy. This place has so many varieties. Oh yeah, this thing's killer.
Are chickens legal where you're at?
I don't know. All my neighbors have them, and okay. I wake up every morning to roosters and peacocks.
Okay.
So fuck it. I was just gonna buy a coop on Amazon and build it. And then just put a fence around the I was going to take out the trampoline. Replace it with
chips. Are you tapping on that?
I mean, I think we've all three boys are not injured now, and everyone's back like to 100% health. And so there's a big push from mom to get rid of the trampoline. You would never get a trampoline, huh?
Fuck no. Says the gymnast.
There's no way Maggie couldn't talk you into it at all.
No way. I watched trampoline and swinging rings leave the scene, and I could tell you in 1972 when I was 15 years old that it's why did they get rid of swinging rings, and it has to do with the guys that hit the wall.
Oh.
I knew of 2 broken necks at my high school from gymnastics. I don't think it was crazy out of normal. Not like school shooters. It wasn't that kind of rare.
Did the trampoline injury them? Yeah. They were all my kids' injuries. Most of my kids' injuries have been from trampoline. Like in the last, we had the trampoline for 4 years, and then all of a sudden in the last 6 months, we've had 3 or 4 injuries that have caused hobbling, limping.
Be funny if anyone can bring these names, but there's a guy named Pat Mahoney who was a world-class tumbler, and at Los Angeles Pierce College, where the coach there had also been the U.S. Olympic coach, ironically. Pat would hold the gym open. This is after he left San Fernando Valley State College and became Cal State Northridge. But he would jump on the trampoline. A big guy, 230 pounds, only like 5'7" or 8. But he'd jump guys on the trampoline until he could put them into the rafters of the gym. And this is a collegiate gym. Get them up into that where the lights are.
Double jumping them?
Uh-huh. And the guy put them in there, and then they'd pull the trampoline away and put a bunch of mats down. In the middle of a workout, a guy would scream, "Ah!" and fall from the rafters, from the ceiling, 40 feet under the mats.
Oh my God.
And that shit just never got old. We'd do that every time there were enough new guys in the gym.
It looks like his name is mentioned in the June-July issue in 1971 of the Modern Gymnast.
Pat Mahoney was a fucking legend. He was an important coach to me. And Tim Shaw, who's passed away. Mahoney was crazy. I got to tell you something, man. To see a guy 5'8", 230 pounds do round off flip-flop double back and stick it fucking fluidly, perfectly. It was crazy.
Seeing if I can. This is pretty cool. You can flip through this magazine.
He went up to Cal State Chico.
You can flip through this magazine that he's supposedly in.
The San Fernando Valley was a sparked a variant in gymnastics that fed eventually American dominance. And it was the San Fernando Valley and Hinsdale High area of Chicago.
What was his specialty again, Greg?
He was one of the world's great tumblers. They took that out of the lineup, and not because of injuries, but it was included so much in floor exercise.
What did he do after that? Did he ever do anything after that?
He stayed in the San Fernando Valley, and he was there at the gym every night you'd go, whether it was Cleveland High or Chatsworth High, Pierce College, or UCLA. Pat was always around. And he was the guy with the keys that unlocked Pierce College on nights and Saturdays. And that was a great place to go. And just him being there made it just a crazy experience. Pat Mahoney was more significant than the guy whose name I can't remember, who had been the U.S. Olympic coach that was the Pierce College team guy. Pasadena City College also had a world-class coach in Jerry Todd. But these guys, these were innovators that were doing things that traditional gymnastics in the American establishment thought was odd. And then you roll the clock forward to 80 and 84, and that very tradition is producing the best gymnasts the world had ever seen. Mm. And Steve Hugg was, of course, we talked about a lot, was a big part of that, all in that pedigree. And that Chicago and LA required boys and girls gymnastics programs at each high school by statute or stipulation. I think it was legally mandated, LA Unified School District, but they had a board member who had been an Olympian, I believe was the story, and promoted it hard. There was a guy named Bishop that got a silver medal in 32 that played a big part in LA education, and I knew him too. You know, there was another guy, Les Salisbury is probably the highest ranking Olympic level judge in the world right now. And he was coach at Granada Hills High. He was coaching gymnastics there when Elway was setting the world on fire as a high school quarterback.
How did you make that connection?
You couldn't go to Chatsworth High and not know that they got this fucking guy at Granada Hills High, John Elway, who could probably play in the pros. And there was nothing that happened in college that made anyone think otherwise. And when he got to Les Salisbury, he gave me the highest score I ever got on a ring routine, highest ever. And I think he liked me. I honestly do. I don't think it was.
You had biased judging?
Oh yeah. Dude, I'd get deductions for having long hair.
Oh, shit.
Yep. 1/10 for the uniform. What's wrong with the fucking uniform? You're the only guy with that hair, you know? Oh, fuck off. You know, there's this salute at the end. I gave and it got seen by 2 judges, and that was on pommel horse, and I got fucked 3/10 for that when I got on rings.
Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm.
By putting your hand down like this?
Just a little. After they looked, I saluted, I walked off, and I gave a little wrist flip, like, fuck off. And it cost me at the next event. And afterwards, I cornered him, what the fuck? Can I see your deductions? Oh, I'll just tell you right now, I took 3/10 for the pommel horse fucking thing.
Barkley, we were lucky, 4 boys, no injuries on the trampoline. Jan Clark, I dislocated my...
I can explain that. It's like cops that don't train and fish in the school of fish going, what the fuck are you worried about? There's so many of us. My problem is it's nothing personal. It's nothing that, you know, it's that the 50,000 hospitalizations annually from the fucking trampoline. That's the problem.
According to the policy genius, the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons, the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission, and the National Library of Medicine, more than 100,000 people in the United States are treated in emergency rooms each year for trampoline injuries. However, many injuries go undocumented.
What percentage of those resulted in admissions? The number's crazy.
Resulted in what?
Admissions. It's one thing to go to ER, go home, you're fine. You're pussy. And it's another thing to you're going to be here tonight.
Children under 5 are more likely to suffer head injuries, while children over 11 are more likely to have spine injuries. Most common cause of trampoline injuries. Do you know what it is?
Yeah, it's
a little vague.
Well, double jumping.
Yes, multiple children on trampolines. 75% of all injuries.
Yep. And the tubing here is the same way. It's the same damn thing.
Oh, and then it's and then the second is direct contact with springs or frame.
So here's the thing in the professional world of trampoline. What you do is you'd have the tramp and you have spotters standing on the rail, all 4 rails, and their job is just to try to knock your trajectory back to the center towards the trampoline, or tie you up just to lessen something. Because sometimes it's just a little dart off at a crazy angle, like Superman flying level to the trampoline. And if you can knock that back into the mess, it's good. But then you also have 4 guys on the ground standing behind that. And I have seen many times someone just clear everyone, and onto the floor. And there'll be enough of a verbal reaction that even if you're on the rings, you can look over and see them land. You'll hear 3 people ring, look, guy in the air, bam.
Oh my God.
And so you ask me if it's dangerous, like, come on. Same thing with the walls and the swinging rings. You're teaching a guy to do a fucking double backflip on swinging rings at the apex of the swing, and somehow he doesn't get it right, and he heads off like Superman into the wall about 15 feet up from the ground. And the initial contact can be neck breaking, and so can the secondary. And so at some point, they're enough. And there are people like, oh, that's fucked up. But, we could all answer the why of it. Hey, you know what? There was an upside to a guy breaking his neck. At least one person, sometimes 2 or 3, would get spots on the team.
When you say we could all answer the why of it, you mean it's just young men fucking around?
No, it's inherently fucking dangerous.
Oh. Launching humans out of a fucking it's basically a slingshot, human slingshot. You got to land back in the rubber band.
Just the physics of it, what happens all the time, the regularness of it. Hey, we got a buddy who got a trampoline, and I told him, dude, it's 50,000 hospitalizations, not ER visits. I think it's half of those end up with admissions. He says, we're just going to take those chances. And then I talked to him a week later, and he goes, I've been meaning to call you, but I'm too embarrassed, And he's like, yeah, she's already had 1 surgery, and this isn't good. It's, this is going to be what happened was it's a bunch of ligaments in the foot and came apart.
Yeah, I didn't want to. When Maggie called me one day when we had our first injury a couple months ago, and she's like, hey, bring the kids over to play. And I'm like, She's like, what? I'm like, I didn't want to tell her. I was embarrassed too, because I've been hearing you talk about it so much. How the double jump, one of the boys hyperextended his knee, and then holding jiu-jitsu matches out there, one of the boys injured his Achilles tendon. Didn't snap, the opposite way of snapping it, like pushed it to compressed it. All better now.
Good. That shit adds up, though.
Do you mean each injury you get?
Like a sprained ankle is no good. It's your second one in 6 months. Third one in the past year and a half. That you're gonna have problems your whole life.
Like a shoulder coming, like a dislocated shoulder.
No one gets 3 ankle, and I'm just stick with the ankle. The knee, it's fewer, but no one gets 3 nasty sprains of the ankle in the space of 18 months. That's gonna not have to worry about that again.
Right.
And when you get a orthopedic mishap and make a recovery, it's imperative that you not do it again for as long as possible. Head injury is the same way.
Oh, like getting punched, like people who fight for a living.
After Robbie's fall, we were told that your whole effort now will be to keep from even minor insults to the intracranial space. No sledding, nothing on wheels, at least for 2 years. No wheels. Imagine
that's how it was for me after my injury when I was 7. They said, hey, he can't do anything. He can't be even near play kickball. He can't get hit with a fucking soccer ball.
We left Jackson Hole because winter was coming, and I had a hyperactive 2-year-old that couldn't do anything on wheels, no snow fights. I mean, we got a list of shit. Can't walk on ice or cement, frozen cement, without 2 adults holding the hand, one knock on the head, and you could be here again with devastating consequences. Like, I mean, it scared the hell out of us. So I was like, we got to sit by the poolside in the sun and just hang out, eat watermelon somewhere.
They were doing jiu-jitsu on the trampoline. Dude, they do jiu-jitsu everywhere.
Yeah.
It's full steam ahead now these days. Every day I see a match break out somewhere. Back of the car.
Airborne jiu-jitsu was one of the discussed possibilities at NASA for International Space Station. I shit you not. We're talking about things you could do. In fact, there was some monkey fucking around, but you can't do anything that creates
repetitive
harmonics. Yeah, like you could in jerking off tear the International Space Station apart. I was told that by people at NASA within their building.
Yeah, I was there.
There's guys that tap their foot nervously will set off alarms eventually. What happens is it sets up a harmonic, and 3 minutes of foot tapping, the wings are flapping on the thing, and they're like, so you got to knock that shit off and right now, or you're all going to die, kind of warnings.
There's nothing
really, really hard. That was why we were there.
There's nothing like that feeling when you fall off the trampoline onto your back, almost euphoric in a weird way. You also put a noose around your neck when you have sex, don't you, Tyler? Ken Walters, my son played high-level hockey, and after multiple concussions, he told trainers he wasn't sitting, and they let him in. No bad signs yet, but I'm sure they're coming. All right, good talking to you.
Good talking to you, man. What are you doing today?
I'm just looking outside and it's beautiful. I was thinking about just now, maybe just take the boys down to Capitola and let them play on the beach for a little while.
Beautiful. You going to Mijo's?
Probably when they open. How about you? What are you doing? Are you getting out on the boat right away?
You think Annie noticed the difference when it wasn't free anymore for CrossFit employees when the new regime?
Yes. There was a burrito.
Families that had to move away from Santa Cruz because they couldn't afford to feed their kids anymore after I got canceled.
Right. There was
that was the best Christmas gift ever.
Oh my God, dude.
Someone asked me if you could have anything in the world, what would it be if you worked for CrossFit? I'd be like, free Mijo's.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah. They stopped that, right?
Dude.
Hey, my non-compete's over in a week or two.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You got any names?
Floyd Fit.
I think that'll be huge. Hey, you should just call it FF and let people just guess. Hey, you know what, Greg, you know what I'd like to see a documentary on? In his civil case, it was settled for like $27 or $35 million. I would love to see a documentary on what happened to the person who got that money.
You mean like his heirs, right?
Yeah. Like you gave someone in George Floyd's family a check for $10 million after taxes. I just want to see what happened to them.
So like you look at everyone that benefited and see who bought crack and who bought a house in the Hamptons.
Yes. And I just want to see like what happened and what
cards. You need to see what part the kids got and what part the attorneys got, and then revisit that same investment, let's call it, year after year.
Tracing George Floyd's civil suit settlement and just see like, I bet you some of the people who got money in that, their shit's already on foreclosure. Damn. That'd be a great.
Well, imagine the cops' response to, hey, a black guy just came in here with a fake $20 bill. I'd take a code not here.
Oh, you mean since then?
That was the call out.
Right.
Dude just came in here with a bullshit 20 and the cops came.
Right.
And then it just went downhill from there. You know what happened now? You look at it and go, no, that's real.
Oh, right. It's fine. Yeah. Or, hey, I got this. I'll cover it for him. This is just a mistake. All right. I think tomorrow I'm enjoying the convention. If you get a chance, you should watch it. I thought it was great yesterday.
Yeah, it's not something I'd sit around and watch by myself, but I think the era of Peggy Noonan's, of just crazy speech writing is kind of over.
Yeah, I think so. Some of the speeches have been really bad.
Like if I gave either Trump or Biden something that was brilliantly written, I don't think they could read it.
You don't think Trump could pull it off?
No. Maybe. No, I don't know if he can be scripted.
I think something happened to him, dude.
Oh, they said he was the effect lasted about 24 hours because he's
he's already.
I don't think I want him changed though. I'd be suspicious of it. It just hit the earlobe. He shouldn't have a personality transplant.
Not only did Floyd family get $27 million, they've received thousands and thousands of donations totaling another $15 million, and get them every day, the news reported recently. Jeez.
Well, that's the new pantheon. That's like he's like Martin Luther King in what he did for the black man, right?
No, but the left wants you to believe that.
Amazing.
All right, dude. I'll talk to you later. Thank you. Love you, Greg.
All right, buddy. Thank you. Love you too.
Bye. Greg Glassman, another Wednesday. If you want to see all of the Greg Glassman interviews, talks, podcasts, I don't know what you want to call them. Matt Souza has aggregated, curated, pulled them all together on a platform called School. I think it's SKOOL. Yeah, the Matoothian's awesome, right? Jar 3. I started a new jar today. I saw someone else was saying how great it is. If you haven't ordered the Matoothian, if you're not using powdered, high-quality powdered tooth powder, if you're still using paste or fluoride, you're nuts. You are nuts. I'm telling you, tooth powder is so much better. People keep sending me links. I appreciate it to assessments of the Trump assassination breakdowns. But we had that dude on already. Everything I listen to isn't better than what we did on the show. Fuck. The guy who was actually part of Trump's Secret Service detail for 16 months, 14 months, whatever he said. That was the best breakdown I've seen so far. Holy shit. Whose did I try to listen to? I tried to listen to Dan Crenshaw's breakdown. Oh, fucking insane. Horrible. Not worth listening to. Got like 12 minutes through it. I'm like, this is fucking unlistenable. Unlistenable? Unlistenable too. The one I sent is similar. Just cool to hear them break it down. Someone sent me another one that Tim Kennedy did. They said it was good, but the show is just horrible. The guy who was interviewing him, such a fucking cuck tool that I'm like, there's no fucking way I'm listening. Maybe that dude will, maybe as time goes on, that dude will call in. Have you guys seen the footage of the shots from the stands now? They're now that there's some evidence of a second shooter. Oh, fuck. I saw something so fucked last night. I wonder if I could show you guys this. Let me see if I can show you this. Now, I haven't seen this anywhere else, but I watched a Trump rally from 2 weeks ago on accident yesterday. It just popped up in my feed. And damn, I wonder where that is. If I can just let me see if I can just show you guys the pictures on my phone. I'll do my best. So, do you remember there was there's footage going around of do you remember this girl in the pink hat? Let me see if I can show you. Do you remember this girl in the pink hat? She's behind Trump, and there's footage going around that as soon as Trump was shot, she pulls up her cell phone and starts filming. Do you guys remember that? And it was going around on Instagram. She's holding up a sign, and then the shooting happens, and she pulls the sign down, and she pulls out her phone, and she doesn't flinch. Right? You guys remember this? Yes, Standy Randy. Remember this? Okay. So yesterday, I'm watching TV. I'm watching YouTube, looking for stuff on the convention, and this pops up, and it's a Trump rally from 2 weeks earlier. It's an old Trump rally. And look who's sitting right behind Trump with a black hat on now. This girl. This fucking girl. I can't even fucking believe it. Is that the same fucking girl? But with a different hat on? I'm not suggesting it's an inside job. Maybe she's Secret Service. I mean, there's got to be a plainclothes Secret Service in the audience, right? Yeah, so what? Yeah. 2 weeks later, same girl, same spot, different hat, still carrying a sign. Maybe she's Secret Service, yeah. Maybe. I just thought it was a trip that I spotted that. That's not like me to spot shit like that. Anyway, has anyone heard any information about about the hole in his jacket? I haven't seen anything about the hole in his jacket. And then there's also footage from the stands, right down the stands of where the guy was shot in the audience. Puffs of smoke coming up right as that guy's getting shot. I don't know if you guys have seen that footage yet. And some people are saying it's a bullet from the shooter hitting some of the railing and causing dust, but other people are saying it's puff from gun smoke. I don't even know what this means, staged. I heard it might not be real, but not 100% sure, or his vest caught it. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. His vest caught it. I thought it was from blood dripping off his face. Are you sure it's a hole? I'm not sure of anything. Christian Kettler, a hole is where the ketchup came out of. I wish I knew what people meant when they said it's fake or it's staged or all that. Like, I don't know what any of that means. I want to know what that means. I'm open to it. Tell me. So yesterday this happened. I'm just habit eating these now. I don't even want one. HDR CBD gummy. I just want a gummy. My kids have been fighting a long time. They've done so much fucking jiu-jitsu and so much striking. Oh shit. Does Tia Toomey actually drink rain? Is that real? Great fucking question. Yesterday, so my kid's been fighting a long time, and there's a couple people in the class that I never see my oldest son Avi beat. I always see him just have like these delicate matches with him, and both kids are very athletic, and both of them are 10 pounds bigger than him. So he's 60 pounds, he's like 59 pounds, and they're both up over 70 pounds. And he's been rolling with these kids, one of the kids for well over 2 years and one of the kids for over a year. And I said something to him like, hey, it's just crazy that I've never seen you fucking submit these kids or beat these kids. And basically it looks like these kids manhandle you, and it looks like you're always being defensive. And it just looks like to me that that you're a little afraid of them. And so you're just managing when you roll with them. And he's so much more experienced than both of them. And I go, it looks like you're pretty much just managing your safety or managing the fights, right? Keep them in close guard. Just avoid getting, never go really hard so that they won't really go hard. You know what I mean? Like they have an unspoken pact to just kind of go through the motions. He's like, well, first of all, that's not true. I can beat any of them anytime. I'm like, yeah, but I've never seen it, and I don't believe it. And he's like, okay, well, when I'm healthy, I'm going to mash them and show you. I said, all right, I would be very curious to see it. So yesterday was his first day back at jiu-jitsu in probably like 2 months, like full healthy. Like he's been doing it, but he's been doing warm-ups and positional training, but no heavy sparring. So last week he goes, hey, just so you know, I'm 100% healthy. I'm going to take a couple more days off of going really hard. And then on Monday, I'm going to go in there and fucking mash them. And I don't want to say that I thought he was full of shit, but I didn't know. I didn't know because he's been rolling with these kids forever and they're good. So I'm at tennis with my 2 youngest boys, and my wife's at jiu-jitsu with my oldest son, and 2 videos come in. She sends me, and he just obliterates these kids. Like just manhandles them, double legging them, picking them up, fucking arm barring them, rear naked chokes. I can't tell you how proud I was. So I get home before he does with the twins from tennis, and he walks in the house and he walks right over to me and he goes, did you hear? And I said, I heard. He goes, well, now you know. I said, yep. You're right. And what's crazy is both of these kids have heard him in the past. So I explained to him, I'm like, hey, listen, you need to keep doing that to keep these kids at bay, because you just kind to modulate the rolling keeps getting you hurt. One of the kids is just a complete fucking spaz. Fucking even the kid even cut open Avi's gum yesterday with sharp fingernails. I got to talk to the instructor about that. Can't have fucking kid with cutting open my kid's gum while they're rolling with their fingernails. One of my sons told me that by the time he's 12 that I will have no chance with him at all. And he's only 7. No. Actually, no, sorry. I told him that I don't think I think I'll be able to beat him easily till he's 12. Sorry. And he said, no, it's much sooner than that. 2 more years. I can't. That sounds unfucking fathomable to me. I'm so fucking strong compared to them. I'm just strong in general. I have my angles where I'm very strong. My certain angles. Yeah, cut them nails for crying out loud. Your point talking to Greg today about telling your kids not to keep secrets with strangers applies not only to strangers, but unfortunately family members as well. It's extremely important that every kid knows and understands that if not and kids are able to have private conversations, relationships with adults, other students outside of the household, the risk of trauma and abuse is tenfold. Yeah, thank you for the text. I really don't like people trying to schedule things with me. After rewatching last week's Kill Taylor, this is one of the best episodes. Oh, but no one called in until the end. You fucking morons. No one cares if anyone calls in or not. No one cares if the workout's a repeat. No one cares that no one cares about any of that. It's $3,000. It's $3,000. It's on Friday now, by the way. I told you guys all wrong. Kill Taylor is on Friday at 11 a.m. Look what I have here from Mint Trading Cards. It says, do not open until Sunday or Monday. Hey, fuck you. Don't tell me when to open my packages. Motherfucker. I mean, thank you. This is cool. I think I'm going to open this on Kill Taylor. It's better. More eyeballs will see it, right? More eyeballs will see it. Are you still planning on coming out on Sunday to film? Oh, shit. Sunday. Yes. I think I should. Yes. I think I should. Right? I think I'm going to Sousa's gym on Sunday. That will give. I need to just call Sousa. Jesus Christ. I think I programmed Sousa's phone. Now he's the only phone number programmed into the phone. Let me see if I can find it. Here we go. I'm going to open this Vindicate package on Friday. Hey, dude. Hey, I think I should come out Sunday.
Yeah, it'd be awesome if you can.
And I will bring the boys, and that'll give me a chance to get my cameras organized and ready for the games.
Yeah, bring them. They could just hang out and go crazy in the gym. There'll be about 30 of these guys there, maybe more.
Okay, and I'll bring some mics and mic you up and all that.
Yeah, I'll bring my camera too and like whatever. But it would be awesome if we could shoot it and maybe get like Rios or something to put something together.
Is it at 10 a.m.?
10 a.m. Yeah.
Okay, I'll probably get there like at 9. I'll probably leave like at 7:30.
Yeah, like whenever works best. Like they'll probably get there at 10 a.m. It takes them like a little bit to kind of like get in and what have you. So it's not going to start like right away, but typically it'll start pretty quick.
Okay.
And they're usually in and out, so it should be done like, we'll be done by noon.
All right, cool. All right, I'll bug you later.
Yeah, it'll be awesome. Okay.
All right.
Bye.
So I'm not gonna. I got this from Mint Trading Cards, but I'll open it on. We'll pull them out on Saturday, Friday, 11 a.m. Kill Taylor. Ken Walter, Sevon, I invited you a while back to collab on Mint Trading Card post. It got 5,000 views. Hopefully, Wad Zombie got some business from it. I don't think it's good to ask me to collab on my IG. I think it fucks everyone else's IG. Just so you know. But you could ask to collab on the Sevon podcast, and maybe Brandstetter or Rios or Sousa will see it, or Caleb. I think that those 4 guys run that channel. I know they never collab. They never offered a collab with me. They said I'm toxic. We did get a YouTube ambassador. Oh wow, that's not good. That's not good. Victor Hoffer cut all his hair off. Is that true? There's this event in there's 2 events in September. There's one event I can't fucking, this stresses me out talking about this. I can't believe I'm going to go to 2 events in 1 month, let alone 2 events in 1 year. But there's an event in Southern California that the Wadapalooza people are putting on. And I don't understand the event fully, but we're going to do a Kill Taylor show there. And I think it's some sort of team competition. And I think it's going to be in Huntington Beach. So I think I'm going to go down there, and Taylor's going to go down there, and Souza. I'm assuming Brandstetter will be there, and Rios, and we'll set up a we're gonna do the plan is, either way this is going to happen on some the plan is, I don't even know what's definitive with Dylan, but he's always been great and super accommodating. Dylan's the guy, Walensky, the guy who runs Wadapalooza. The plan is to do they have some sort of event there, some competition there that's like Wadapalooza but different than Wadapalooza, and it's going to be in Southern California. And we're going to do a live. It's going to be our first live Kill Taylor. By live, I mean the people who will go against. Well, I guess we did it once at that gym in LA, right? The guy who made the Sevon podcast song did a live one at his gym. Remember, someone just rolled in there. But anyway, the Cuervo guy, the guy, this song. The guy who made this song, I think it's this guy. We did a Kill Taylor at his gym, and someone just showed up and did it. But basically, the way this one's going to work in Southern California at this, I don't even know what to call the event. I keep wanting to call it a Wadapalooza event. I don't know what it is. Someone else is going to have to figure that out. But it's in September, and I don't know if it's early September or mid-September, but the event's going to happen, and we're all going to be down there, and Taylor's going to do a workout, and then people are going to get to come out and try to beat his workout. And for each person that tries and fails, the prize purse will go up $500, all the way up to $5,000. If no one wins it after $5,000, no one wins the money. And Paper Street Coffee is going to put up all the money for that. It's going to be a crazy event. And then we'll stream it live too. I think it'll be a huge show, but it'll be fun because it's the first time we're going to do something like this live, like with so many live contestants. So that's cool. And then also in September, Colton Mertens and Taylor Self and me and my 3 little boys, and Matt Souza, and I don't know who else is coming, but we all rented California Hormones has rented us CAPeptides.com has rented us a house in Sacramento, California. Actually, I think they rented the house in Huntington Beach too. And I'm podcasting. And Colton and Taylor will be going against each other at the NorCal Classic. I also heard Pool Boy will be there. We'll also be going against them. And I heard Tudor Magda will be there. I don't know if that's true. But anyway, that's going to be crazy. That's going to be wild. And me, I'll be there at NorCal. Okay. Eric Weiss, yeah. That's going to be a dope event. That's a great event. That's an outdoor event that's like at like a reservoir. Like that's like and Rafa Sanson. And I want to say they give away $30,000 for first place. And I really know Taylor and Colton want that money. And I probably and Taylor's already told me that there's no way Colton has a chance at a place that's by a reservoir, because obviously they'll be swimming and shit. So It's that's gonna be awesome. And we're all staying in the same house. It's gonna be nasty. Nasty. Okay. This evening there's some podcasts. Miss Alexis Raptis. Oh, wow. It's the two darlings of the CrossFit space. Alexis Raptis and Dallin Pepper tonight. That's awesome. Okay. Two beautiful, young, powerful adults. All right, Training Think Tank and Brute. What does Brute? Is it Brute Strength? Brute. What's Matt Torres run? Brute something? The Brutinator. Anything else? You guys want to see anything funny? You guys want to hear from Malcolm X? No wonder they couldn't figure out whose cocaine it was in the White House. That Kimberly Cheeto chick thinks that the roof was too steep to put fucking counter snipers on. No wonder they erased the cell phones from January 6th of the Secret Service. Kimberly Cheeto didn't know how to save the text messages. Do you guys remember the Secret Service officer who went crazy a few months ago? It was a woman. Do you guys remember that? How would I find that? Was that Kamala Harris's? Kamala Harris Secret Service unhinged? Is that? Yeah, look at this. Do you guys remember this? Secret Service agent assigned to Kamala Harris hospitalized after exhibiting distressing behavior, official says. A U.S. Secret Service agent, this is in April, assigned to Vice President Kamala Harris exhibited distressing behavior Monday morning at Joint Base Andrews and was hospitalized, authority says. Harris was not present at the airbase at the time. In a statement provided to CBS News, the U.S. Secret Service said that about 9 a.m. local time Monday, the agent began displaying behavior of their colleagues found distressing. The agent was removed from their assignment. Two sources briefed on the situation. CBS News agent spouted gibberish, was speaking incoherently, and provoked another official physically. Crazy. Female officer speaking gibberish. Female Secret Service officer speaking gibberish. I think I saw a picture of her too. Let me see if I can find a picture of the girl, of the agent. And I'm pretty sure it was a she. And I'm pretty sure these titles aren't doing it service. I think Secret Service agent removed from Harris detail shortly after Kamala Harris left for a campaign. Oh, so she was there. Wow. Unhinged meltdown. Kamala has... Oh, no. God, I wish I could find a picture of the agent. Look at the agent was removed from their assignment. I think it's her assignment. We take the health and safety of our agents very seriously. Oh, I fucking hope so. Did you finally get water? Yeah, it's awesome. Well's good. Folsom Lake. That's where NorCal Classic will be. All right, I'll see you guys tonight. Have a good day. Love you guys. Bye-bye.